What is toxic shock in your eyes? Who knows what toxic shock is?
From my understanding, it interacts wrongly with your bloodstream from a tampon, and then you get really sick and your organs start failing.
I think kind of the same thing. You get like super sick, flu-like symptoms.
So all of you hit upon it with different points. Toxic shock is described as a multi-systemic illness when you said the organs being affected. It's a release of toxins into your bloodstream from an overgrowth of the Staph aureus bacteria infecting your body from a tampon. How do you think you get it? How do you think it comes to being while you're using a tampon? What do you think?
I always heard that you have to have the tampon in for a really long time. I heard
like
that too.
days.
Yeah.
Okay, you all believe that?
Yeah.
I have done a lot of research and I've talked to a lot of victims. It's not always about leaving it in too long. I spoke with a parent, and this really shocked me. Their daughter only had it in for 2 hours and had toxic shock. So there goes the theory of leaving it in too long. You won't know it right away. You can't feel it right away. So my question to you, since you can't feel it, do you know the signs and symptoms? Do you know the early signs, the signs in the middle? By the time you get to the signs at the end, you're in critical condition in a hospital.
The only thing that I know is that it's flu-like symptoms, so
Okay.
it's hard to detect.
Before Maddy passed, I didn't know anything about what the symptoms were. I didn't even know that they were flu-like symptoms, that they mimicked that sometimes.
I don't think any of us really knew the symptoms before Maddy.
Yeah.
Madalyn had vomiting and diarrhea. She was tired, a little achy, and a slight fever. Not even the high fever they talk about. That's all she had. That was Monday night. And then Tuesday night, she started getting some other symptoms. A little lightheaded, a little dizzy, her tummy hurt. So she went to bed. And I'm like, tomorrow we'll go see the doctor. We'll get this checked out. After 24 hours, we're going to go see what's going on with you. So the next day, I tried to get her up, and she didn't know who I was. And at that point, all her organs were starting to fail her. This is how quickly it progresses. 36 hours from the moment she got sick to her stomach till the moment she passed in my arms at home, before even help arrived. You don't always have to have all of the signs and symptoms. Everybody's different. Some have the sunburn-like rash, and everybody says that sunburn-like rash is you have it. Not true. Madalyn didn't have it. What she did have, though, and this is at the end, she had a seizure in my arms. And I was really taken back because I didn't know what the hell was going on. We get her to the hospital, and she's put on dialysis and a ventilator because she can't breathe, and her body's failing. And she's in a coma with a high fever, and she just doesn't come out of it. And we say goodbye to her. So my point is, you need to be educated. We have to create awareness of all these signs and symptoms because you don't need to have all of them. Anybody want to comment about that?
It's pretty much just different in everyone.
It could be.
So
Some
there's no
parents-
really telltale sign.
No telltale sign. Every one of your bodies is different, and it can react differently in each one of you. You just have to self-advocate for yourselves. You can't just assume it's something. If you are using a tampon, or you have recently used a tampon and have any of the signs and symptoms, I can't stress this enough. Seek medical help immediately. It is so often misdiagnosed for the stomach bug or the flu that they send you home saying, if you don't feel better in a day or two, come back. I have to say this to you. Don't let them send you home. Fight. Be strong enough and be adamant enough to say, you know what? No, I just had my period. I used a tampon, or I'm on my period and I'm using a tampon. Make them test because time is critical here. It's safer to have them test and find out you don't have it than go home and come back. Because when you come back, you are in critical danger. You will be put on a ventilator and you will be on dialysis. You may go in a coma. At that point, you have a 50% chance of dying. because you were sent home. Why not have them do the test and find out it's not, and then, okay, we have the time now to test for everything else. But if you go and test for everything else, you just lost all that time while your body is fighting and it's shutting down. And that time is running out and you don't get it back. It progresses too far along for anything to be done.